Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly Essential Island Living Team call. It is so nice to see everyone. I know some more people are going to be joining us. So before we get started with the content, let's go ahead and find an oil that's calling to you tonight. I'm going to use rose. Before I inhale it, I'm going to rub it all over my face. All right. I am doing the best that I can. I am doing the best that I can. I am doing the best that I can. Okay, all right. So this week I had asked that you guys take a look at the weekly success schedule and come prepared for any feedback. I'll go ahead and share my screen in a little bit when we look at that. We just had a few more sections to look over. But before we get into that, I want to talk about a couple of things. So first things first, couple of things. Okay, so if you're on Maui, which only a few of you on here, well, there's 2 of you from Oahu on here tonight. We have some upcoming opportunities for people to be vendors on September 14th, which is a Saturday, the Waikapu night market. Would love for somebody to have a table there. And then on October 26th, at EIL school, it's their Monster Mash. Now, the reason why I can't do it is because that is the doTERRA post-convention tour on Oahu. So if anyone on Maui is not planning on attending that and you're interested in doing a vendor event, please let me know. Especially that Monster Mash one. They've already turned away some other reps from other companies. So I want to make sure that our team is represented there. So yeah. Okay, so, and then those of you that are leaders and have people on Maui, if you could follow up with them. Hold on one second. And maybe ask to see if anybody is interested. That would be awesome. Okay, upgrades. September 15th, and I would say September 14th is the last day where you can ask people to upgrade. If they've been a wholesale customer for 90 days, they are eligible for what's called an upgrade to become a wellness advocate. Now, people that are customers that do this upgrade that don't actually, I got to figure out how to make that quiet when people, is it as loud for everybody else when people log on as it is for me? Do you guys hear that? It's super loud, yeah. Okay, let me see. Maybe now is not the time for me, but I feel like it's really settings. Hold on one second. To full screen when starting to full screen, maximize prompt show audio. Here we go. Mute microphone. Oh my gosh. Okay. Output volume. I'm sorry, guys. Just give me 1 second, please. Join audio by computer, mute microphone, but I want to mute other people's microphones. Oh, there I am, video. Turn off my video. Videos. Audio. Huh. Okay. I can't find it right now. So we'll just have to deal with it. Okay. So, hey Diana. So upgrade. So if a customer has been a wholesale customer for 90 days, they're eligible for what's called an upgrade to Wellness Advocate. And what this does is it gives the customer an additional 14-day move, because what doTERRA is saying is sometimes customers join with just the intention of being customers, and then they realize how much they love the product and they want to share the product. And so if that's the case and they change their mind and they want to be builders and sharers, doTERRA is like, you possibly didn't put them in a place for building and sharing, but just as a customer. So they allow them to do this upgrade. Now, in the past, you could do the upgrade for anyone. So those of us that build our organizations and then people are kind of not necessarily where it works best for us, we have asked people to upgrade so that you can get an additional move. And doTERRA allowed that. And now doTERRA is saying that if somebody takes advantage of this upgrade, that they have to enroll somebody within 14 days of the upgrade to actually be eligible to get moved again. Okay. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about, it's okay. But what I really highly suggest is that if you do know what I'm talking about, that you're going through your organization and that you are following up and asking people in your organization to upgrade if they are not someplace that help benefit you for power of 3 or rank. What happens a lot of times, and there's several of you on this team that I'm looking at right now that this could be happening to, or I know is happening to, is when you enrolled a bunch of people and they're all on your front line. And some of them are just customers and they're not builders. And ultimately, ideally, you want realistically just your builders on your front line, and you want to put your customers underneath your builders. Okay. You want a structure for Premier. So that means 2 legs with 2,000 OV. Why Premier? Because when you're a Premier and you enroll somebody, you get an extra $200 empowerment bonus. And you can get that every single month that you hit Premier and you enroll somebody. Okay. You also, I do love the Power of 3 bonus, but what I've come to realize over the years is that you don't want to build for people that aren't motivated to build and share themselves. It's better to have 2 solid legs and go for Premier every month than it is to try to get your Power of 3 $50 bonus or $250 bonus. Don't get me wrong, a $250 bonus is great. But if you get your $50 bonus and your empowerment bonus, that's the $250 bonus. And then once you have 3 committed, capable, and consistent builders, then I recommend starting to build out that 3rd leg and starting to go for your 1,500 Power of 3. I love the 1,500 Power of 3, but one thing that has all bit us in the butt for those of us that get it on the team, which is Kate Kanani and I consistently get that bonus, is that there's a lot of people that hold positions that aren't doing anything. Okay. And so it's really hard. You do so much more work as a leader when you have people on your front line that are getting their $50 bonus or even their $250 bonus, and they aren't invested in the business. It's really, really difficult. For me, that doesn't happen for my 250. I'm lucky, but it definitely happens for my 50. But I know for some of my builders, it's on their 250 level too. So, and it's hard. It's hard. So yeah. Okay. So I'm kind of deviating, but this is really important because this rule is about to change. So if you have a really long front line and you think, Liza's telling me to focus on 2 builders and get all my volume under there, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. I'm not quite sure who's eligible for that. look on this call, you should know the person that you come to do that work with. So I've done that work with Keisha and Aisha last month, maybe this month. Anyway, and so if you're on Keisha's organization, then you would turn to Keisha to ask that advice. I also know that, obviously, but just, so that we're all practicing knowing what to look for. If you're on Kanani's team, you're going to reach out to Kanani and so forth, okay? So if you don't know who you should be contacting, ask me. I can always help you, but I probably will point you to your person, your first line of defense, if it's not me. For some of you, it is me, though, okay? All right, so this is a big change, which basically means from here on out, if people decide they want to upgrade to become wellness advocates and you want to move them, they have to enroll somebody within 14 days. So really, people shouldn't be upgrading unless they are actually truly committed to sharing and building the business and probably have somebody lined up to enroll already. Okay. Something else cool that I just found out is that convention, well, I know that convention can be live streamed, but that you can live stream the gala for free, which I think is kind of cool because you can, I don't know how long it'll be and how boring it'll be. But when you hear, I want to dance with somebody, then that's me. Okay. So celebration, because I think I talked about this on the last team call. So I talked about how I hate doing team emails. I have come to realize that I don't enjoy that. So I found somebody to do it. She's a diamond, which blows me away that diamonds wanted to do it, but people love doing this stuff. So that's great for me. Yay. So probably within the next day or two, I'm going to be sending out our team email. So you'll kind of can tell a little bit of difference because it's her voice and stuff, but it's fine. It's great. And there's still some, Aisha graphics and stuff in there. She's going to talk about live stream, and there's going to be a link where you can, if you're not attending convention, you can buy live stream for $60. You get to watch all of convention for, $60. I think you have access till the end of October. And then, and you can also buy the Empowered Success training. So that Saturday business training that many of us are attending if we're going to convention, you can always also buy access to that separately from the convention. And then you can also sign up to register to live stream the gala for free. So all of that's going to come, but just so you know, there were several of you last week that told me you weren't getting my business emails. I have to go into my mailing system, MailChimp, and make sure that you're getting my biz group emails. So Fraser, I added you. Tosh, if you're watching the replay, I added you. But it's really important that you guys check with your builders to make sure that they're getting the emails. Like I have 1,300 people in that database. I cannot go through that and double check to see if people are getting the emails. Every customer should be getting the emails for sure, but you just want to be careful. And then if you reactivate anybody like Fraser, when you just reactivated, wasn't Mata, it was Ray. Was it Ray? Yeah. There's a chance that because she's reactivated, she's not going to automatically be in my back office system. Actually, you know what? She is, because they gave her a new customer number. Okay, she is. But if you reactivate somebody that's been inactive for 6 months and they moved from another team, there's sometimes a possibility that the girl who updates my MailChimp for me, she exports all the email addresses of all the new enrollees. They won't be on that list. So if you're ever not sure that somebody that you've enrolled is, getting our communication, just check with me and I can go into my MailChimp account and check. Okay. But I really need everybody's help with this because there's just no way I can manage all of that. Every month we're adding 30, 40 new team members, 20, 30, 40 new team members. So, all right. I think that's it. Well, that only took 17 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. You guys, convention is coming. It's so exciting. Okay. Where did I put it? Oh, here we go. Okay. So we are continuing to look at this weekly success schedule, we're going to flip down to I think we talked about this. Pretty sure we talked about this. Okay, so team call. I know we talked about this continuing education and product education rotating every 8 weeks. And I know we talked a little bit about the topics for this. And then business education happens after that. Okay. Oh, yeah. We did talk about this because I talked about diplomas and everything, right? So team call, 30 minutes max. Team calls work best Monday night at the beginning of the week. We do Wednesday nights. These are important so that nobody gets left behind. Here's a super, super detailed schedule, which I clearly would struggle following, but welcome, product training, training on a specific business skill, recognition or testimonials, and reminders and close. So that's a very, very highly and well run and efficient team call, which is not to say we couldn't, get there somehow. And then here's weekly strategy sessions with key leaders. So this would be you having strategy sessions with your upline mentor or mentors, because some of you have, I'm everyone's mentor, right? So you are always welcome to come to me and ask questions. Sometimes I'll direct you to your enroller only because they might know your organization and situation better than I will. Okay. Okay. So, but these as leaders, this is great for you to kind of think, okay, where am I right now? What step would I want, a strategy session with Liza on, or Kanani, or Kate, or Aisha, or Keisha, or whoever it is. Okay. So here are just some of the weekly strategy worksheets for upline use. So this is important because I am all of your upline. So this is something I might use with you, but Fraser, this is also things, a worksheet that you could use with, Michael and with Tia, and Kanani could use with her frontline builders, but also with, Diana and some other Kaliko and other people that are not necessarily on her frontline. So reconnect and ask discovery questions, review goals and priorities, review builders worksheets, identify the top priorities for this week. I'm not going to lie. I feel like weekly is just a lot. I might have time to make weekly. I don't even know if I'd have time for weekly, but I think that this should be happening once a month minimum. I think that everyone should be having a weekly strategy workshop call with their upline mentor at least once a month. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this, though, that it's your kind of responsibility in Kuleana to schedule these. Like, if this is important to you, know that we are here and open and willing to have these with you, but you have to reach out and take advantage of the opportunity as well. I'm known to send texts to people at the beginning of the month, like, hey, let me know how I can support you this month. But you guys know that this is available to you. So take advantage of it, because this is your perk for building on our team. I'm going to just call her out in a nice way. But, when I met Fraser online, and she had a lot of options. She had a lot of friends that she could have enrolled with that just, sell doTERRA. And she wanted to enroll with a team that she knew she was going to get a lot of support with. And so, one, I'm very grateful for that. But this is a perk. Like, take advantage of the opportunity that you're given and the support that you're given, because I'll be honest when I say I don't know that all teams offer this level of support. So we want you to be successful for sure. Okay. Here's a weekly strategy worksheet for you to use. So if you were coming to a strategy call with me, this is something that you would fill out prior. You would fill out your builder worksheet, or if it's already filled out, you would review it. You would review your goals and priority action items from, I'm going to say last week. I'd like to change this to maybe monthly strategy worksheet. I think is a little bit more feasible and reasonable. But so this is really great in terms of helping you think about what your goals are for the month. Contacting and following up, you should be doing about 4 hours of this per week. So just remember, you guys, that part of our DMO is inviting, following up, and making new contacts, okay? And having business conversations. So all of that, your daily actions for DMO fall within this idea of 4 hours a week. Anyone that you talk to or follow up with that is not yet signed up with doTERRA. Now, I don't know how much I totally agree with this part but I understand it. Their idea is that in order to be building your business, you have to be, introducing and teaching and enrolling people into, into this wellness lifestyle. But I do think that it's very important to follow up with your current customers, your newly enrolled people. So I think there's a balance. When I talk about following up, it's not just people that are not yet signed up, but it's also people that are enrolled with doTERRA. Try and contact and follow up at different times on different days to reach different people when they are available. Cluster calls close together in one block of time. However, many builders you think need multiply that number by 4. Okay. So here is just an example. I think I showed this last week of what she's time blocked out. And so contacting and following up. Here's the continuing education class. Here's the weekly oils class, the business class, the team call, the strategy sessions with builders. So the point of all of this was her showing us that you really can do this business in 20 hours a week, which I think those of us that have done this for a while would attest that you can still be very successful and very efficient in this business, but you have to commit to those 20 hours and you actually have to do that work every week, for the most part. So, all right, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to stop my share now. And what I really wanted to hear was any feedback on any of the sections that we talked about last week or this week in terms of the weekly success schedule, or just the things that we can adapt for our team that makes sense. So I'm going to mute myself.
I like can you guys hear me? Okay. I like the idea of meeting with your builders regularly. I feel like I include that, or I've started to include that in my DMO calls, like, hey, how can I support you? What can we do? And just by chance, like Diana and I just started doing it the last 2 Fridays where we regularly meet. And I think it's been really helpful for both of us. And we've been able to strategize and work together. And I see a big change, like just with her that I've met. So I really like that idea of filling out that worksheet and getting together. And maybe every week would be rough, but even every other, I mean, just because I tend to have Fridays off. So I know that we used to Zoom it sometimes, like people could log on or contact us and sign up for a time slot via Zoom, and we could go over their organizations. We did that maybe like a year ago, I think. And some people took advantage of it and it was really beneficial. And maybe we could even start doing that, especially for the girls that are on Oahu, like Marcy and Frazier. We can still go through your orgs and all of that because we've done it before. We just stopped doing it because not enough people were taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
But I think it would still be a really good idea.
I love that. I totally remember that. And that you're right. It was really great. The problem became that nobody was signing up. So we were taking all this time to time block out time to offer calls with us. And we had a Google Doc, and Kate Kanani, did you do this with us too? No? Okay. So I think it was just Kate Kanani and I put time in to offer, and there were months when like nobody would even sign up. So it's not that funny. So yeah, I think that we could try. I love that, because we want, like, I know I'm saying it's your responsibility, and I do think it is if you want the support to reach out. But perhaps offering that as well, again, Kanan, wouldn't be a bad idea. So Google Doc with sign up for, and we always work together for the team events calendar every month. So there's no reason why we couldn't, all do this too. Doc would sign up for strategy sessions. Okay.
I mean, I personally prefer, and everybody's different, but I personally prefer if I can meet in person. I rather meet in
Yeah.
person. Like I was saying with Diana, it was just easy to sit side by side and go through things. But especially for the girls that are off island, like I think that would be the next best.
Yeah.
I want to say something about that too. Meeting with Kanani's really been a help to me because I've always felt that as much as I love doTERRA, I have not been a wild producer, an enroller, and getting people to build. And so I didn't want to take any time away from you all because your time is so limited and you really need to help the people that really are building. And I felt that I wasn't one of those, so I wasn't kind of worthy of it, if that sounds right. And maybe that could be the way the other people were too on the Zoom calls. But I prefer a one-on-one and when it's possible. And I really appreciate Kanani taking the time for 2 weeks to do that because it did make a difference in what I'm doing now.
That's so great, Diana. And I've heard that before. And on one hand, I'm not gonna lie, like I find it kind of frustrating because we want people to be successful. We are here to we are busy. We don't pretend to not be busy. I mean, I'm not as busy as I used to be, but I'm still busy. But we will make that time. Like everybody is important no matter what they're producing to help them move forward. Now, I will say though that all top leaders will say the same thing. Don't keep giving people time that aren't doing the work.
Exactly.
So but Diana, you've always done the work. And so what you probably needed was a little bit more of that mentoring to help you figure out why you're doing the work, but maybe the payoff wasn't there.
Exactly.
But top leaders will say, when people aren't doing the work. So I mean, that is a waste of your time if somebody's going to come on a mentor call with you or strategy call with you and then walk away and not do, diddly about what you guys talked about. But at the same time, we never want anyone to feel like we are too busy for them. If you need us, we will make time for you. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
It's awesome. Okay. So, anything else about the strategy sessions? How many of you just like with the thumbs up would take advantage of strategy sessions, whether online or in person? Some of you probably already do. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. Perfect. So we will definitely go back to doing that. I would say look for everything to kind of start rolling out October, November, just because after we get back from convention, it's kind of that whole convention vibe. But give us time to slowly roll these things out. Okay, last week we talked about the introduction to oils class, and we talked about having a weekly class at the same time, same place. Anybody have any feedback on that? And our off-island people, I had asked you guys to think about that as well from your perspective. So I'm going to mute myself.
I've been in other MLMs in my life, and having a weekly meeting in the same place, the same time, was always productive. So that's just my take on it. People know where it is. They know when to go. They don't have to wait for an invitation, look for an email, any of that stuff. They just know when it is and where it is, and it just makes life easy. Not necessarily for the person holding it, but maybe I mean, when I was in Amway, for example, we did it at a Denny's restaurant. So it can be different places that even Tasty Crust has a room, there's just places that will let you, as long as you buy food or something, they'll let you have the meeting.
Yeah, we were thinking like Starbucks or something like that. Everybody bring a cup. Whoever brings a cup, we'll buy them a coffee or a drink of their choice, or, you know.
As long as it doesn't get too busy and too loud that distracts from it. Whereas a room sometimes is nice.
I'm going to talk a little bit more, but I'd like to give it a shot personally. I'd like to try it. I think that our team is big enough on Maui where, you know, if we chose a day and a time, and we had kind of already talked about like Sunday around 3 being a common time we often have classes just in general in our team. Like, if you guys don't know, if you're on Maui, Kate's having a great like lifestyle overview class. If you haven't been inviting people to it, then you should be, because she's doing it on Sunday at 3:00. And it's going to be great because she's going to take everybody through the live guide, and she's going to have a business meeting afterwards. So I think I'd like to try it. I think there's enough of us that if we're all willing to kind of share in the responsibility, you know, I obviously would host at least one a month, but I think not just amongst like the 4 of us, but the whole team, you know, kind of, and really if everybody did that, you'd host one like once every 2 months or something, if even that, you know what I mean? Once every 2 or 3 months, you'd be in charge of it. You know, that's not that bad, really. So, and this wouldn't take away from specialty events or classes that we would still have in our homes, like the new product reveals that we're all going to have after convention. Like, it wouldn't take the place of that. It would just be that weekly intro to oils class with a basic biz training. Okay. Outer Island people, my idea was this. You tell me what you're thinking. I don't think every week online is feasible. But I was thinking like the first Monday of every month, or, you know, something that's still consistent and you can always say that it's going to be that day of the month. But what do you guys think?
Like for an online Zoom class, you mean?
Yep. So your basic intro to oils class, I was thinking like one night I could probably pull off would be Monday. Monday would probably be a night that I could do like every first Monday of the month, or every first, maybe third Monday of the month, where you're having same idea as having a weekly class, but it wouldn't be weekly, right? It would be once or twice a month, but at least it would be the same night every month, so that you can always tell somebody, okay, we're having it on this night. We always have first Monday of every month, we have an online intro to oils class. Then if they can't make that class, like say Monday is just a time they can never make, then you move forward with inviting them to a 101 or something. Do you guys feel like that would be something that would support you guys, that you would invite people to?
Well, do you recommend doing Zoom calls more than like in-person classes like the one that I had?
No, I recommend in person as much as possible. But I will tell you that other teams have had a lot of success with Zoom calls. There's something about Zoom calls that people find very, like, they can log on and they can listen and they don't necessarily have to show up for anything. I know one team does a lot of like lunchtime ones, like EO 101s, like during people's lunch hours, like, you know, 12 to 1. So we could also play with the time. Like, it wouldn't necessarily have to be a night class either. You know, we could offer maybe like the first Monday of every month is a night class, and then the third Monday of every month is a lunch hour class or something like that, you know. What gets tricky for me personally is my work schedule, but we'd figure it out. But that was my idea for helping support you guys on outer islands, and, you know, even in the States and stuff. So do you feel like you guys would invite people to those classes if we had the online ones? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try to just, at least with online, start with one a month. And if we can get people to show up and there's enough people saying, I would love to do that, but I can't do the nighttime one or whatever, then maybe we'll add a second one. Okay, so online once a month. And even for Maui people, I mean, that's still great, right? I mean, you can invite people to a live online class. You know, I would recommend, if you can, getting like a sample or two to them prior to the class, just so that as we're talking about, you know, aromatic smell and stuff, they can, you know, something probably that they can have a immediate response to. I would probably say like citrus and like peppermint, just like the little drams. So if you invite people to class, they confirm, you know, kind of sending that beforehand. So, but everybody can benefit from the online classes. And we've tried to do this before, and the problem has been, again, people not showing up, or our team showing up, which our team is awesome, but ultimately we want these classes to be for new people. So we really have to think about that, in our just across the board. You know, it's great if you're showing up to classes as a leader to learn more, but ultimately your goal is to get new people to show up to those classes, you know. And if you're not getting new people to show up to those classes, then what parts of the DMO are not happening? Typically it's the new contact part, right? Because then if you're not making new contacts, then you're not having new people to invite to classes. Okay, so the introductions to oils class, if we do a weekly, we're going to do a basic biz training after every class, whether it be online or in person. Okay, that's something that we will do no matter what. Continuing education classes. What is your guys' feedback about, like I had talked about, taking some time from our business call to do ongoing education, or maybe going every other week, business education. Anybody have any feedback for that? And if you have feedback about anything else we talked about too.
Continuing education, meaning like learning from like other teams or other speakers, or just about oils in general?
Yeah, continuing education, product education. So their example was having like 8 weeks that just keep rotating on these topics. So it's the Essential Oils 101, LLV, healthy weight, emotional wellness, hormone balance, mood management, body balance with aroma touch, skincare, essential science, pain management.
I see it.
So, but my question is, when do we offer this?
Sorry, what did you say the question was? Somebody logged off.
Sorry. How do we offer this? Like, do we utilize time on Wednesdays? Do we not have every Wednesday be about biz and we offer that for product education? Do we do product education of the front of every biz call? And, you know, like,
could we offer it? I mean, not that we've been super great about this, but where we do like our team breakfasts or team events where it is product learning as well. Like it's a team social, but it's also product learning as well.
in person?
Yeah, like not all the time, but maybe when we plug in those team, like the builders brunch that we did, then we could offer part of that. But then, of course, that wouldn't be all the time.
So it's not, I mean, I love those events and I would like to have at least 1 or 2 a year. We've talked about having a team social forever, right? Just like a barbecue or something at the beach. But when I'm thinking about continuing education, I really want it to be accessible to as many people as possible. And the greatest way to reach everyone, in my opinion, is something like this, like a Zoom call. Because everybody can access it. Like some people aren't on Facebook, or they're on Facebook, but they're not active on Facebook, right? Some people are more active on Instagram. Some people don't even have Instagram. But what everybody pretty much has is a smartphone that can get the Zoom app, you know, and even the in-person events, which we would absolutely utilize our biz, like builders brunch and all that kind of stuff, to do more product education. We used to have like those round table events where we did on guard and all of that, but then that only limits the people that are on Maui to attend those events. Yeah.
I would say that having it every week, maybe 15 minutes, or even short 15 minutes prior to, or somewhere specific in the call, a weekly call, would be a good thing. And maybe right after you make your announcements, you know, while we do our what do you call it? Your meditation. That might be a good time. You're introducing a specific oil that you're using, you know, but regular, and it's short and sweet, but it's product education that is ongoing, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we could try it. I mean, even if we're educating each other about products so that we have more product knowledge to share with our customers, that's not a bad thing. But it's also a way, as we're following up with customers, you old or otherwise, to invite them to hop on every Wednesday night at 8:30. And I think what we need to do is just be really super efficient with time. So at 8:30, the call starts. I'm leading people through we got to give it a name, our protocol, right? That's like 30 seconds, a minute. By 8:31, we're into product education. If we're going to do it, I don't want to be the only one doing it. That's the other thing, you guys, okay? Like,
I think that's really the point, is that everybody's going to do the protocol. So we can rotate that you choose your oil that you're using, you know what I mean? Whoever it's, but it needs to be somebody that already knows they're going to present, so that it's already.
Yeah. So we can have a sign up. We can have a Google Doc sheet for that. It can be the same one where people sign up for mentoring calls. People can sign up, and it doesn't have to be an oil. It could be a product, you know, it could be Correct X. Like, I swear I've given away like 5 tubes of Correct X in the last like 2 weeks. You know, a kid busts his lip at the pool. Here's a bottle of Correct X. My other friend had, what did she have? I can't remember. Teacher friend. Anyway, here's a bottle of Correct X, you know. My mother-in-law, she gets gnarly, like when they put medical tape on her, it like tears her skin. She's using Neosporin. She has a doTERRA account. So it was like, no, mom, use Correct X. And she's like, oh, look, it's already like going down, you know, like the inflammation. So absolutely. So everybody can choose something. And what I would love is like one person speaking for 5 minutes, and then everybody else having the opportunity to just share something about that product if they want to. Even the customers on the page sharing something about that product. And then by 8:45, we're just into the biz portion.
Another idea is that the person presenting can already put some highlight points, maybe in the chat prior to speaking, that people can have it and copy and paste it if they need to. They miss a point, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I say let's try it, because that's something that we definitely don't offer enough of for everyone, for access for everyone. I want to just say that. And what's great is, what I'll do is, I have to think about this, because I want to be able to post. I mean, really, all of our biz calls are public as well. I'm trying to think if I should stop it, and I'll just post it all, and people can catch the replay, you know, rather than posting it just in our business group. I'll post it in our Essential Island Living group. But then the lady who makes my emails, I just thought of this. can send a link to my YouTube page every month in the newsletter saying, go check out the last month of product education. We covered this, and this, right? And then they can go to the YouTube page and they can access all of the videos that we have ever done too. So, okay, so that's awesome. Okay. Link to YouTube page. All right. What time is it? It's 9:17 already. Okay, so that was, you know what, you guys, I feel like that's pretty much, that was the gist of it. I mean, it was intro to oils class, basic biz training. So those go together. We're going to give it a shot. We're going to do a weekly class at like a more public location. And after every weekly class, we'll have basic biz training. And we want to encourage you guys, no matter what, whenever you introduce or talk to people about the oils, always talk about the business, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes. Tell the story about the pipeline, you know, about residual income. Just lay the seed and the foundation for it, just so that they know that that's an option for them. Wellness consults, you should be doing a wellness consult with everyone who enrolls. That Live Guide should be done with everyone who enrolls, whether it's in person, on Zoom, okay? Continuing education, so we've talked about that a lot. Team call, we're already doing the team call, so now we're just going to take our team call, we're going to tighten it up, we're going to add the continuing education to it. I think it's going to be great. Strategy sessions with key builders, we will work on a Google Doc for people to sign up for topics for the continuing education and the team call, as well as strategy sessions with those of us that are ready to give strategy sessions, I would say. So for sure, Kate, Kanani, and I, and we'll check in with Keisha and Isha and see if that's something that they're ready to start doing. And then the contacting and following up. Fraser asked a great question that we have to remember. We're constantly adding new builders to this group, which is so amazing and exciting. When we talk about, there's 2 acronyms that we talk a lot about that you guys really want to familiarize yourself with. The first from doTERRA is PIPES. PIPES is going to be found in every business guide, share guide, launch guide. Pretty much every guide will talk about PIPES. PIPES is preparing. So preparing your materials, preparing yourself with information, inviting, presenting, enrolling, and supporting. Okay, so that's the P in PIPES. And why PIPES? Because if you haven't heard the story of the residual income story and PIPES, let me know and I will tell it to you. And then the second acronym is DMO, Daily Method of Operation. So PIPES is awesome, but it doesn't really tell you like how you should be engaged. Like, how do I enroll? Like, what are the daily actions that I have to do to engage in PIPES? So the daily method of operation is the idea that every day you are making, and there's variations of this. For our team, we said 1 to 2 new contacts. Okay. 1 to 2 invitations to learn more, whether that be a class, a one-on-one. 2 follow-ups. Now, this weekly success schedule would say that following up is just with people who aren't enrolled. I think follow-up is a follow-up is a follow-up. You want to nourish all of your network and your customers. You never want to enroll people and then leave them behind. So I think following up with a customer is just as good. However, you also want to be following up with new contacts as well, right? So it's kind of a balance. Then last but not least is business conversations. So we get kind of lenient with this one on this team where we're like, oh, well, I talked to Kanani and Keisha and Kate and Aisha today. I did my DMO, so I, had a business conversation. Technically, this is the idea that we're talking to people about the business opportunity that are not already part of the business opportunity. So that's why they pair that introduction to oil class to basic biz training. Okay, so on this team, we've kind of done modified 1 to 2 of that a day. And listen, not everybody does that every day. This month, I don't know what's going on, but just too much camping. I don't know, but I haven't really been doing my daily DMO as consistently, and it shows. Like last month, by this time, I had several enrollments, and this month, it's like, so I know what I have to do. It's just a matter of doing it. All right. Anybody else have any feedback for anything that we could do more to support the team? Because we really want to up level our game. No? Okay, well, we welcome feedback anytime. It's not a one-shot deal. So I'll just leave you guys with, knowing that the door for feedback is always wide open for you. We will, not I, but I will be sending out monthly emails. I'm very excited about having delegated something that I really don't like. And I think it's just a good lesson reminder for all of us. There's going to be parts of this business that you love, and there's been parts of this business that you absolutely don't enjoy. But if inviting people to classes, teaching about oils, and asking people to buy oils are things that you don't like, you probably shouldn't be doing this business. Okay. But if team emails or something you don't like, you can fix that problem. Okay. So love you guys. I appreciate you. Next week, we will not be here because we'll be at convention. I'm not very in sync right now, but okay. So convention, I'm so excited. Stalk us on social media because it will all be there. All of the goodness will be there and you won't want to miss it. If you can and you want to sign up for the free parts of the live stream, I would really say, and the day is kind of rough, but if those of you that aren't going to convention can do the empowered, all of it's going to be awesome. Okay. Legit. But the empowered success training would be really cool on Saturday if you do that. And I think you would still have access to that until the end of October. So I'm considering buying it myself. Just to have him referred to. Fraser's not going this year. I always want to say Devin, and I know that that's your husband's name. Tracy? Marcy. Yes. Okay. Marcy. Marcy's not going this year. Sierra's not going this year, but otherwise everybody else on the call is going. Yeah. So, love you guys. We appreciate you so much. This is an exciting time. I'm going to tell you right now. Oh, what was that? Oh, the picture. Thank you. You would think waving your phone was enough. This is an exciting time in this business. If you're newer to this business, moving into this season is probably our most busiest, exciting time. Convention, new products are revealed. You come into November, they drop all of the holiday limited edition holiday items, and we move into the holidays. Frankincense, free frankincense with a 200 PV order has been every December since the company started. Hopefully they don't change that. So that's really great. And people just are buying at the holidays, right? They're stocking up, they're gift giving. It would just move into a really exciting time, like probably the most active time in the business. So yeah, so it's really, really exciting. So I'm so excited. Okay. I did take a picture. I'm very scatterbrained. I have like days of massive PD coming up at work. So, all right, everybody, smile. Okay, wait, I didn't click. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for showing up for yourselves, for your team, for your business. We love you. We appreciate you. We are here to support you. We don't always know how that looks like best for you guys. So please tell us, because we are open to growing with you and getting better at everything we do. So love you all so much. We will see you back here in 2 weeks for a post-convention call. Have a great night.